What did the 8 announcers on a 4-hour show contribute in terms of cohesiveness? They started out with Sockface and Shivani and Nigel McGuinness and Matt, Matt, and his shtick of the Nasty Boys on meth would kind of work if he was over as a talent, but everybody knows he's a job guy, so it's, shut the fuck up. Who are you acting like this? You're not a personality first. And then they brought Taz in, and then they brought JR in by the end, and I'm trying to, was there another one in there in the middle somewhere?
We always talk about how bad the commentary is. It was amazingly bad here. And considering Jim Ross has been in the news and Tony Khan made him an issue with the Stephen P. New thing, this was not a good Jim Ross performance. Excalibur, it feels like, I've never been a fan of his, and I think he's terrible at what he does. But it feels like he's like melting down almost more and more.
Yes.
You know, it's just like he loses like the ability to talk.
I've got to get this out. I've got to get this out. I'm scared. I'm not going to get this out. But you know what? I'm not making any sense while I'm not getting this out.
Taz is stuck. Taz can only do so much. Unfortunately, the best stuff with Taz is him fighting with Shivani, who is unbearable. He's unbearable by saying nothing. Everything is him complimenting one or the other. Good call. Good call. Just call the fucking match. Don't tell the commentator he's doing good calling it.
Or laughing at something that's really ridiculous, but he's laughing at it when it's violent because he's like, well, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Or he just lies to you, like saying Sasha Banks and Hikaru Shida are two of the greatest out there today, or whatever the fuck he was saying. Or he just tells you how great everything is. Or he just jumps in with nothing. And then him and Excalibur together, I don't think AEW, because they're in their own bubble, recognize the damage those two do on commentary to anyone who wants to give them a chance. Because we hear it from people too.
Well, anyway, it was 4 hours of that type of thing.
4 hours of mute.
But, you know what? They need a good mute wrestler. Remember, Salento Rodriguez was over.
He just died recently. I don't understand why Tony doesn't have a second English commentating team available on one of the other options, because it would only help your product. It would make it better to have a second team there that doesn't suck, that's not filled with all of this and just you jamming people into the... I mean, like you said, Nigel was there, then he was gone. Nigel probably would have done a better job calling some of the stuff he didn't call than the stuff he did call.
And they're making Nigel be so heelish. He's not. It's just ridiculous. He's just there to be the heel and disagree with everything. Nigel is a Ring of Honor color commentator, as a former pro wrestler, but you know, now he's an announcer. That was fine, but he's just like, oh, this guy's a prick.